Good morning. Good morning, beautiful souls, beautiful human beings, beautiful bodies that are temporary living this existence wearing a costume. That's what I strongly believe. It's our bodies, just a costume that on just a costume that just like a layer that our souls are wearing while going through this mystery that we call life. The story happened years ago back in Bangkok. It was a period where I was searching for fortune tellers, palm readers, psychics, and I was curious to meet those people, mostly to understand how many of those were really gifted and how many of those are around, especially after I met this woman in Milton Keynes named Pauline, a psychic that I reached out of curiosity after I heard my girlfriend talking about her and how years earlier she predicted she would quit her job and leave with a certain amount of money in her pocket. So it was a party, and she was talking to another friend about this woman, Pauline, and how powerful she was. So basically, years earlier, uh, out of curiosity herself, went to see this woman in Milton Keynes, and she predicted various things, and one of those that she would quit her job, and the company would give her as a liquidation certain amount of money. So she gave her actually the precise amount of money. So my girlfriend told me that she laughed at the idea of quit her job because at the time she was at the peak of her career. She was making tons of money. She was happy. She was living this illusion that we call the a materialistic lifestyle. So she obviously dismissed what she said because there was no way she told me that she was going to quit her job. So she left, and a few months later, in her company, she was an investment banker. Uh, the CEO resigned, and the new CEO literally did not like her. So he felt that she was a threat to his power within the company. Crazy stuff. Anyway, I mean, what is crazy? I mean, like how people, how we identify our existence just based on this meaningless jobs. But anyway, so he tried to basically make her quit, but uh, there was basically no way that there was nothing that he could really do until he basically decided to transfer her to Hong Kong, knowing that there was no way she could because she had I think it was the second baby, and she just bought the house, so she had the mortgage, so there was no way she could move to Hong Kong. and she was left with no other way than actually resign, considering that she had so much, you know, obstacles and so much, issue with this new CEO. And when they gave her liquidation or whatever they give to those people when they quit, or they, I don't know how does it work, but anyway, they get some money when they fucking leave their jobs, money that normal people people like me and many of the people around there, they wouldn't probably need like 20 years of their working life. That's how this society is so unfair and fucked up. That's why it needs to be changed. That's why we need to fix it. So anyway, when she got the money, she realized that was exact amount of money that the fortune teller predict. So obviously, when I heard this story, it's like, oh wow, I wanna really go and meet this woman. And I booked an appointment for a month later. That's how busy she is, and how popular she is. And she told me many things, and all the things she said happened, came true. Many, not exactly like she said, like she could see something, but then she kind of like interpreted in her own way, but then there was certain things that was spot on. So literally everything she said happened, some not exactly like she said, but some authors, and actually the most important was exactly like she predict. One of the most important, she predicted that I would leave basically London and moving to another country. And she gave me the exact month, and I did forget about it, and then I actually ended up moving to Scotland, that technically it's another country, and in the month that she said. So that was the most important. Then there was other things that she did, like get it absolutely right. So after I met Pauline, I started to get really curious and see if there was others that had those gifts. So like every countries I would go to visit or go in holiday, I would try to meet the local psychic, fortune teller, tarot reader, and so on. So so I tried to do the same when I was in Bangkok, but I couldn't find any initially that could do it in English, because I don't speak Thai, and my friend, one of my best friend, like a friend I stayed when I was in Bangkok, didn't know anyone that could do it in English. So, but because once you set a goal and you work toward that goal, all the universe, God, whatever is out there, will start to create all the circumstances to get you there. Or, as other philosopher or theorist believes, that we literally just shift timeline after timeline until we reach the timeline that match the goal that we want to achieve. Whatever it is, I started to get to meet to be all in the right circumstances. So initially I was in Siam Square, and then there was 4 fortune tellers that could speak English, because it's a very touristic part of Bangkok. But it was raining and I didn't have time, so I postponed it, and with the idea to go back and meet one of them. Then one day I was walking around, and I felt to go to visit one of my favorite temple in Bangkok, that it's Wat Arun, And once I arrived, walking inside the temple, I got drawn by a sign hanging, I think, by the wall or on a tree, I can't remember, but they was saying palm reading, um, English, like palm reading, and we do palm reading, so with the phone number. So obviously, whoever wrote it, want it to show that she can do it in English. So I took the number, I called the lady, and we arranged an appointment. Plus, I never done the palm reading, so I was kind of like really intrigued by that. And but I remember she says, she gave me the day, the appointment, the day, the time, and she said, "Don't be late, because I can't not do it when it's dark." And she kind of like say it again, just to make sure that I would understand that she cannot do it when it's dark. So the day of their appointment, I was on my way to Wat Arun, and it was like slightly late. So I called her and I said to tell her that I would be a bit late, but I would make it on time. And again, she tells me like, "Oh, it's okay. Just make sure that you are not coming when it's dark. When it's dark, I cannot do any reading." Oh, I was like, okay, I just like I couldn't understand why she couldn't when it was dark, but so it was something that I would have asked at some point. So I arrived, and when I arrived, there was this cat, uh, like I think on the table, and as soon after she arrives, so we sit. There was already a table with two chairs, so we sit one in front of each other. She offered me something to eat. I refused, and she asked me for my date of birth, the time I was birth, the location, and she take my hand and she started to look at the lines on my palm, and and based on the lines, she started to tell me, all the prediction. Like life was hard until I think she said 42, but now there was now that many blocks that was in within your soul have been lifted. So now life will get better and better. 43 will be good. 44 will be even better, and so on. And so basically, long story short, she predicted a good future, a good future. So it was interesting, like like if I look back, I would say that all the things she said is actually really happened, because it did actually since that moment get better and better and better, and still getting better. Even if obviously, like for everyone there are like setbacks, some problem, and but obviously, even if I have problems like everyone, but they are not, preventing from me to live a meaningful life, and a life that I kind of I want to live right now. So I would say it is like she said. To be honest, and actually now that I'm talking about it, I'm gonna go back because I still have a screenshot of that paper where she wrote those things. So I'm gonna read it. And then one of the things she wrote was like, I did not have to live in any hot country. I had to stay in countries where the weather it's mild. That's very important for me. And she said, as long that I try to be a good person, life will get better and better. So it was good. It was interesting. I mean, it was all the settings, meeting this woman, the temple in Bangkok. So all of this was already like a memory. So it was already great, even if nothing of what she said would become true. it was already fascinating. Uh, Obviously, like I wanna say something that so that, again, that's what I believe. We have I think, like endless written future. Future shift as we shift what we feel and believe in the present moment. So I strongly believe that even if you've been predict certain things in the future from really powerful psychics, they are not going to happen if you know become conscious that as you change your inner belief, you change your emotions and feelings, think the future will change according to what you feel. So, and I mean, that's at least what I, I feel and I strongly believe to be. And so, yeah, so getting back to the woman. So at the end of our session, I obviously asked, so why you don't want to do readings when it's dark, and how long have you been doing this job? And she tells me that when her husband left, she was left alone to raise her own daughter, and she was working like crazy to make ends meet, and she literally had no time to be around her daughter that was a child at the time. So try to find something, an alternative solution that would allow her to spend time with the daughter. She came across palm reading, and while learning how to do it, she realized that she needed really to study, and because everything was just coming to her just so naturally, and basically like she was able to download all the information without really the need to actually study. So obviously, they were channeling, so she was channeling higher informations, and she was obviously in tune with that gift. So that's why she then started to do it full time, because it was giving her the time to be with the daughter. One day she was short of money, and sorry. So she tells me that she at the time she received a message from entities telling that she was given this gift, but never to use it at night. So that's why how she knew that she didn't have to do it at night. One day she was short of money and really needed some cash, and she decided to do a reading for a man nighttime. Apparently this person could do it only at the time of the day, so and she decided to do it anyway. And a few days later she got run over by a car, and she ends up in the hospital. Since then she never done it at night ever again, so she's learned the lessons. It is why she always stressed so much when she get new customers, make sure that they are not coming at night, and if it's dark, she won't do it. So it was great. I mean, it's fascinating words. Fascinating words with the one of psychic, and because now over the years I met so many of those. I mean, there are a lot of charlatans out there, and there are some that thinks they actually they can, or people that believes they are channeling the spirits, but then actually they don't. Then you have the one that they are conscious that they don't have any. I mean, haven't developed any gift or psychic gift, but they know that they can use that trick to scam people that are in need of help. So there are a lot of those scammers and genuine people that actually don't have those gifts yet, but they think they have it. Then there are a few that are genuinely gifted, and over the years they developed, worked toward develop those gifts, and they can predict the future. They can read within your soul, and they can channel the dead spirits, and so on. So I would say it's interesting to meet them, but again, I now strongly believe that I shape my future right now in this present moment, and that's why I lost interest to go and meet those people. So yeah, I mean, I put some pictures on the post I wrote, and I mean, Wat Arun. If you all have gone Bangkok, it's horrible. Bangkok is it's busy, polluted, and so on. I mean, Thailand is stunning, but Bangkok, it's a mess. But there are some like, not obviously all Bangkok, but there are parts of Bangkok that are magical. I mean, like the Wat Arun, it's stunning. There is a place, I think it's called Bang Su, I think, that is kind of like at the end of one of the line, where you can still see how Bangkok used to be before it's been destroyed by capitalism and money, like those wooden houses on the canals, where every time I go to Bangkok, I go there. There is a beautiful cafe called the Artist House, and it's beautiful. You walk on those decks facing the canals, and it's make you understand how beautiful Bangkok was. That's why it used to be called the Venice of Asia. That's something that is left of it, and I highly recommend to go and visit. There is still beautiful parts left and untouched in Bangkok. So yeah, I think I think it's all. I might read it the post again, see if there is something else to add. But I think that was the point and the story I want to share. Might get back on talking, but maybe not. Have a good day.